you're looking at the big screens because a camera is...
But right now we have relics of two saints who celebrated Mass on the very spot where their relics are being kept.
That's awesome.
This is something to rejoice in.
It really is a day of four popes.
It is indeed.
And an awesome moment.
You've been to Rome 36 times.
At least, I think. I've lost track.
All right, how does this experience differ from the spiritual ones that you've covered before?
I think each one is a little bit different. I was at the Beatification 3 years ago for John Paul II, and that was extremely wonderful. What I really like is the reverence. The whole city was just in this sense of a spiritual calmness during the Mass and at the beginning, during the canonization, the actual proclamation. You could really sense a feeling of respect. So it's just been very, very wonderful. The people that we're with are great. They're all so devout. They love the Lord and the church so much. So it's pretty humbling to be able to come here.
Here comes Francis right now. Crowds pushing, screaming, yelling. You see people just bouncing in front of the camera. Everybody wants to see him. He changed
It was so exciting because at one point in the Mass, Pope John Paul II and Pope John 23rd weren't saints, and through the Mass they were, and they were referred to as, Saint John Paul II and Saint John the 23rd, and it was in the booklets as saints. So it was just cool to take in that moment that I just witnessed.
They were announced as saints.
Yes, and it was electric. Cheered and clapped, and it was. You could just feel the excitement.
Yeah.
And
that
the
was
joy.
And the joy.
It was joy.
Yeah.
And there were, of course, for Pope John Paul II, a lot of people who came from Poland, and they were to where now this holy man who I grew up with is now a saint. That's just kind of mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
And I really loved when we did the sign of peace too, because you're shaking hands with people who are just from all over the world.
It brings a lot of enjoyment to young people, I think, to have Pope Francis there as well.
Tell me your thoughts about Pope Francis.
I think he is the right man for the job.
I mean, how special is it to have, it was a moment I turned to my friend Andrew and said, we just saw Pope Francis embrace Pope Benedict and then canonize Pope John Paul II and Pope John the 23rd. I mean, when can you ever say that happened?
Happen again?
Ever again. Right. So, I mean, it's still taking time to sink in, and it'll be a special moment for the rest of my life, and both just in my faith and just to tell others too.
We've always felt very close to him. So
why is that?
He was very charismatic man. Very charismatic man.
Yeah.
And
There was something about him you couldn't explain.
You
I
know?
pray to Pope John Paul all the time.
Ask
Yeah.
for his
Oh,
intercession, right? What do you think is his biggest gift to the church?
I'd say compassion for everybody. You know, not up in a high place, able to relate to the ordinary person on the street.
Gruppo motociclisti da